Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? The cicada are out tonight and very, very loud. Okay, time and temperature check. It is currently 5:34 p.m. That's what the time the microwave said. It spoke to me. When I was walking by the kitchen, I looked at the microwave and it said 5:34. And it is 85 degrees. It's really warm today. And it's sunny now. It was like right now would be like a perfect like pool time. But earlier it was pretty cloudy most of the day. So I slept in today. Alex went into work and he had a couple things he had to do, like meetings and stuff like that. And then he met his mom for brunch at Patashu afterwards. So they had a little brunch date today. And yeah, so he had a good time doing that. And then he came home and so he came home and then he's been upstairs looking at TikToks and stuff like that, and I've been filming videos downstairs because he's been relaxing upstairs. And I just started uploading my drama video. I wanted to film more videos than this today, but I got kind of started late. I filmed a drama video. I filmed a Peter Does Stuff video about the announcing the movie club and talking about the movie from last week, which was Quick Change, which I watched last night. And then I did, what's the other video that I did? Oh, BookTube. I announced the books for September for Peter's Book Club and a True Crime Book Club. And then I also announced the documentary for a True Crime Book Club, which is a documentary that I've already watched. I've talked about it over here too. So, but that's going to be the documentary that we're going to watch and we're going to discuss for the live stream. We will be discussing that in October. So, the month before, so like in September, we discussed like the August books and whatever. But we are skipping the August live stream for this month because we've gotten kind of late in like announcing it. And so we only have a couple of Sundays left. The 25th is our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, and the day that we met. I've been waiting for this package for like hours. And I just got on my email. And it said that it's still coming today, but it's coming later than it was supposed to. It's going to be here by 7. It was supposed to be here by 3:45. So I don't want to miss this package. So anyway, they are loud today, aren't they? So I keep on looking down the street. I'm like, is the UPS guy coming? But anyway, so our anniversary is on the 25th. It's a week from Sunday. And so, I know I'm not going to want to do the live stream that day. So I was like, how do you feel about us like moving it to next month and just covering the July and August? So this month we would have covered the July book. And I said, how do you feel about skipping this month and just doing the live stream in September for July and August? And she's like, I'm totally down for that. So that's what we're going to do. So September will be July and August books, and then we will also cover the July and August true crime documentaries, which is TikTok murders and the one that I announced today. But you have to go watch that video to find out what it is. So anyway, like I said, it's something I've already watched. I told Mel, she like suggested it because she saw his TikTok on it, and I said I just watched that. I said it's really, really good. I said we can talk about that, but I'm going to make my video before my Peter Watches TV channel. She's like, that's totally fine. She was like, I think it'll be a good topic for discussion, and I think it will be too. So we're trying to add like a documentary in there to like add something else to talk about other than just the book, so that's kind of fun. And I really haven't had much coffee today. I like filled this up like a fourth of the way earlier and didn't drink it, so I just added this coffee and put some ice on it while I was uploading my videos. And now I'm out here relaxing with you. And we have no plans for tonight. My brother and sister-in-law, they should be landing anytime now. And they are coming into town. So I'm real excited about that. So Alex's mom moved. I haven't really talked about this on here, but Alex's mom moved and bought a new place and redid the whole place. And so everybody's real excited about it. So they're coming into town because they haven't seen her new place yet. So this weekend is like big family weekend. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film. I'm going to try to get, like I was asking Alex, like what time we have to leave tomorrow and stuff like that. So tomorrow, Carlitos has a game. And so the whole family is going for the game. And then after the game, we're going to go either somewhere around there and have dinner, or we're going to go back to, I think we're going back to Carlitos and Liliana's and hanging out. And so tomorrow will be like a late night. So if I don't film the vlog before I leave tomorrow, which I have to leave here, we have to leave here at like 3:30, I think. I'm going to try to get up earlier tomorrow and at least film a vlog. I think the vlog's going to be like the first thing I film, and then if I get done with the vlog and I have time to film something else, then I will. We'll see. I don't know. I might film, depending on what time I get up tomorrow. If I get up like at 10 or 11, then I'll have time to film a lot of stuff. But I'm going to try to get a vlog up each day, and then that's tomorrow. What is it tomorrow? Saturday? That's tomorrow. And then Sunday, they're doing some stuff during the day, but we're all doing like a big family dinner on Sunday night. And then hanging out at his mom's house and stuff like that. So I'm real excited about that. But like I said, like tomorrow and Sunday, I don't think will be like heavy filming days because it's like family stuff. I don't want to spend time with my family and hang out with them. I don't want to like worry so much. And so, I've been saying that I've been trying to film so consistently on my vlog that if I have to miss a day, then I can. Tomorrow or Sunday might be that day, but I'm going to try my hardest. If I don't film anything else, I will at least film my vlog. And I will, even if it's just like 20 or 30 minutes. Watch, I'll end up putting up an hour and a half tomorrow or something like that. But I'm going to try to get it done. I don't have to start getting ready until like 3 to go to this thing. So that gives me enough time to like get up. And if I get most of the stuff done tonight, like around the house, laundry and all that kind of stuff, then tomorrow I can just wake up and I can start. I keep on thinking I see this, like, this is one garage door down here it's like painted the same color as a UPS truck. I know, not pretty. And I keep on looking at it thinking it's these UPS truck, but it's not. But anyway, so that's my plan for this weekend as far as filming. So anyway, if I don't film a vlog, I'll let you guys know and be like, I'm not vlogging today. So I just want to let you guys know why that would happen. But I am planning to vlog the next 2. I'm continuing to plan to vlog for the rest of August and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so that is, that's this weekend. I'm excited about seeing Jesse and Fufu and being together as a big family again. We haven't really, all of us been together. Well, we haven't, not really, but we haven't at all been together, the whole family, since Fufu and Jesse's wedding last October, so I'm really, really excited about that. I mean, we just saw them in Mexico for Alex's birthday, but we haven't been together as a big family. By the way, Mackenzie on Big Brother reminds me a lot of Jessie. I don't know why. It's kind of like how she's built and how she talks and stuff like that. And I said something to Alex, he's like, oh, I was thinking the same thing. So tonight, as soon as I get done vlogging, I'm going to go walk. My neighbor texted me about it being a nice day. I thought she was texting me about the pool, because I like glanced at it real quick when I was filming my drama video, but she was actually texting me about the mailbox, and she said it's really warm outside. I thought she was kind of like hinting at going to the pool. So right before I came out here, I texted her and I said, would you want to go to the pool later? I said, I'm going to definitely walk tonight. I couldn't walk last night. It just, the rain was off and on, like all night, and it like was really, really hard when it rained. And so I was like, if I go and I get out of the neighborhood, I could possibly get caught in the rain, and then I am like gonna get soaked coming home, which I wouldn't really care. But I was like, I'm not gonna really enjoy it if I'm like, worried about that. So I just didn't walk last night. And usually it's like, because like my goal has been to walk every day, and last night was the first night that I missed in a couple weeks. Honestly, my legs were really sore last night when I was sitting there watching TV. I actually drank, I mixed up some of that magnesium stuff that's supposed to help your legs relax. I haven't done that for a while because, like I said, the last time I did it messed my stomach up. It didn't really mess, my stomach was gurgling last night, but it wasn't like, my stomach wasn't affected by it. It was just kind of gurgling. But it also, I noticed it helped my legs a little bit, but not a lot. But I think maybe it's good for me to take a day off from walking. Like, when I set like goals for myself like that and I don't like achieve it, like I beat myself up about it. I'm like, oh, like I can't believe I didn't walk last night. But I didn't feel like that at all. I just was kind of like, okay, well, I'm not gonna force myself to go walk in, inclement weather. Is that the right word for thunder? I mean, it was thunderstorming last night. It wasn't when I was vlogging, but it like started really pouring down. And then it would stop, but then it would start up like 10 or 20 minutes later, right? So I didn't know if I was gonna get caught in it. But yeah, like I think a while ago I would have beat myself up about it, but I didn't last night. I was just like, well, I'll pick up tomorrow. That's the other thing is, I'm very much that. Like, I'll just pick up tomorrow and do what I need to do tomorrow so I don't beat myself up so much about it. So, yeah, I didn't walk last night. Alex and I watched Real Housewives of Dubai. And what else did we watch? We watched something else after that. Oh, I know. He wasn't caught up on Big Brother from Tuesday and Wednesday. I told him, I was like, you don't need to watch Tuesday. Tuesday's just a recap of stuff. So he watched Wednesday. I watched like a half an hour with him, and I was like, I don't know why I'm not, like, because he's watching Love Island. He's like almost finished the entire season. Like, he's like, see, you could have caught up and watched it before the reunion. I go, I'll watch it, but I'll watch it down the road. I don't think people have any idea how many, I mean, every day people will DM me with TV shows, and they're like, I really wish you would try this TV show. And I would love to try all the TV shows. I would. I'm open to anything. But I have such a hard time, like, keeping up with the TV shows that I'm watching now. In fact, so anyway, I watched half of Big Brother, and then I went upstairs, and I started laying down with Boo Radley to take a nap. When he finished Big Brother, he came upstairs, and then he resumed Love Island upstairs. I think he finished it last night. He's watching TikToks of Love Island right now. Because I said to him, I'm going outside to vlog. Well, he took Boo Radley out, and I told him I'm going outside to vlog. And right before he came down, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm watching TikToks of Love Island. He's, like, obsessed with the show. Somebody commented on my vlog, and they said, thank you for talking about Love Island through Alex, because now I'm watching it, and I'm obsessed, which I think is so funny. So I asked him, I said, what do you want to do tonight? He's like, I just want to relax tonight, because we're having, like, a busy night. So when I get done with vlogging, I'm going to go take my walk, like, as soon as I can, when it's still light outside. Try to walk for an hour and 10, 15 minutes tonight, since I didn't walk last night. And then, if she wants to go to the pool, I'm going to go to the pool. If not, I'm going to take a shower. I'll probably watch one show while I'm eating something, and then take a little bit of a nap, and then get up and watch some shows tonight. I really, really want to finish Dark tonight. So as far as the list, like, people, and people, like, are like, I don't want to tell you a show, because then you'll feel like you're obligated to watch it. I don't feel like I'm obligated to watch a show. I'll put any show on my list. I literally have a list called Shows to Binge. And if it's something that somebody recommends to me, like, and I'm interested in it, I'll put it on my list. I just don't know when I'm going to get to it. There are a couple of shows right now that I really want to, like, watch. Like, nobody's really mentioned to me the new season of Dance Moms. Apparently, it's like a reboot. It's not anybody from the old Dance Moms. It's like a whole new group of dancers and moms and stuff like that. I thought it had just started, and I don't know if they put the whole season out or what happened, or if it didn't just start. It started, like, a while ago. I thought it started, like, at the beginning of August, but there's already, like, 8 episodes out. I was like, oh, God, now I gotta catch up on 8 episodes of this new Dance Moms. Is anybody watching it? If it's not any good, I don't want to invest my time in it. So, I mean, I've got to get through Sister Wives before September 15th, when Sister Wives starts. And I've still got 10 seasons of that. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I got 10 seasons of Sister Wives, which I'm going to do. We're going to bang it out in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So, if anybody's watching a new season of Dance Moms, and can you let me know in the comment section below, like, yeah, it's worth it, or no, it's stupid. Because I don't want to watch it, and then I get canceled after one season, and I'm like, I'm not invested in this at all. The other show, it's not out yet, but people keep on asking me if I'm going to watch it. Yes, I have it saved. I'm going to watch it. Is Secrets of Mormon Wives. It's kind of like, it looks kind of like Real Housewives of, you know, any county, but, like, they're all Mormon wives. I watched the trailer. The trailer looks really good for it, and it's going to be on Hulu. I don't think it's out yet. Because the one I looked, it wasn't out yet. I looked last night. And then somebody sent me, it comes back in September. Do you guys remember the show with Jeff Daniels? I think it's called Old Man or something like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was like an espionage show. It was so good. And they said they weren't going to do it. They were only going to just keep it one season. But they ended on kind of like a cliffhanger. Well, it's coming back for a second season. I had no idea. Somebody sent it to me. It was like one person sent it to me. So whoever sent it to me, thank you so much. I screenshot it. I add that to my list. I'm excited about that show coming back. That will be a show that I'll probably watch like every week. That I won't wait until the whole thing's out. So yeah, last night I took a nap with Boo Radley, and then Alex came up there, and oh my God. So Boo Radley hasn't been really using his bed downstairs a lot, the new one that I bought for him. I don't know, like, he gets in it, and he, like, does this kind of stuff to it, but then he just, like, there's, like, a hair hanging off the side of my eye. I can't really see where it's at. Oh my God, I haven't seen them walk in a while. It's Mom with her 2 sons. But he rustles around in it, and he, like, gets it, like, you know, straightened and whatever, and then he just, like, he'll, like, hop off of it. He hops all the time. Boo Radley's so funny. He, like, hops, and, like, jumps up this way. I mean, it's so crazy when you see him to think he's 15 years old, right? And, somebody commented on my video, and they said maybe he has the zoomies at night because it's cool and it's not as humid. That might be why. I don't know. I mean, it's still humid at night, but it's cooler. That might be why. Like, during the day, he's so tired. I think maybe, like, it's interesting because, like, when he takes his medicine in the morning, so we give him, he gets the gabapentin twice a day, but the carfentanil he only gets at night. I feel like that medicine does something to him because he kind of, like, it's almost kind of like he has to, like, get it out of his system. Like, he, like, is so, like, energetic and stuff at night. And then, like, we'll be laying there, and he'll jump off the bed, and then he'll jump on the bed, and then he'll go to bed, like, his little beds that he has. Last night he had 2 of them on the bed. And then he'll jump off, and he'll jump on, and he'll jump off, and he's like, and he'll go downstairs, and I can hear him walking around downstairs, and he'll come back upstairs. It's almost kind of like he has to get it out of his system, like a kid, like a little baby that's trying to, like, you know, is like fighting going to sleep. Because then finally he'll lay down in his bed. It's like I'll take him outside when I get up from my nap, and I mean, he will run around like crazy, and I'll give him a treat, and then he goes upstairs and he goes right to sleep. I think it's almost kind of like he has to get it out of his system, and then like he just like passes out, and then like he's out, you know. He was for a while coming down during the middle of the night, and I would take him out like every hour. He hasn't done that in the last week. So I don't know, I almost kind of feel like it's the medicine. We were giving it to him during the day, and now we're giving it to him at night. I almost kind of feel like it's like when he initially takes it. I don't know why, but I can't figure out why he's so energetic at night. But during the day, he's like pretty tired. But like Alex gives him his medicine, and then he comes back and he goes to sleep. But he doesn't get his Carfute, or whatever it's called. He gets just a gabapentin in the morning. So I mean, he comes back and he kind of like walks around the bed for a little bit, and then he like sits down and he goes like right back to sleep. And then when I get up, he's like asleep. Like today I got up, put my contacts in. I did take my medicine last night, and when I take my medicine, it's funny because like when I fall asleep, like I'll get up and go to the bathroom a couple times, but I don't really remember like. I mean, I remember getting up, but I don't remember, like I don't remember Alex leaving this morning and stuff like that. And then when I got up, I was kind of like, I kind of remember him walking around the room. But anyway, it still took me a while to fall asleep last night. Not typically as long as usual. I will say when I woke up today, I was still tired. Like, that's what the medicine does to me. But the contacts were not an issue putting them in this morning. So I don't know about that. But I got up and I put my contacts in, I brushed my teeth and stuff like that, shaved my neck, and he was still asleep in bed. And finally when I came in and I like turned it, because we have a humidifier that we use every day, I turned the humidifier off and I turned the fan off, and then he kind of like perked his head up. And then I was like, you want to go outside, Bradley? And so I took him outside. And that's when he got up. Yeah, he's like got the zoomies at night and stuff like that. I mean, it makes me happy. You know, he's going to be 15 here in a couple weeks. I think his birthday is September 5th. That he's going to be 15 here in a couple weeks. I thought it was in July anyway, so, but I guess it's September. And I found these pictures that I had, and that like, Alex, I had them on my Facebook or something, and they said like the date on them. Like, I'd screenshot them, so they're from, like, ever ago. Obviously, they're forever ago. But it said, like, the date, and it said, like, how old they were. And, like, when I did it in my head, I was like, the September date is correct. So, like, I think it's, I don't have my phone here. I have it written down on my phone, all the dogs' birthdays. But I think September 5th is his birthday, so he'll be 15. So it makes me happy, like, when I take him out late at night, and he's, like, I mean, it's crazy, you guys. Like, I mean, he's literally, like, a 3-year-old puppy. So it makes me really, really happy, you know, that he's so energetic and he's healthy, at least for today. You know, it makes me happy. I mean, he still needs to go out like 10 times a day. I mean, that dog can go outside and sniff and whatever. I let him do. I just stand there, you know, as long as until he's ready to come in. He kind of just like, he's like, I mean, he'll just kind of like look at me and be like, okay, let's go in. And we walk inside, I give him a treat, and then he goes and relaxes a little bit more. When we watch TV at night too, he paces around downstairs, and then he finally goes upstairs and goes and lays down. Like, I was talking to Tanya about it to see if she had like dogs at the kennel that do that. She's like, we have a few. She goes, you know, with older dogs, she's like, I kind of sometimes wonder if it's not like people that have dementia. I think it's called, what's it called when like they pace? Like once the sun goes down, they start pacing and stuff. It almost kind of seems like that with Boo Radley. I mean, I don't know. I've heard that dogs can get dementia too, so I don't know about that. But like, he'll walk around, and like when he walks around, he'll like look up at us. But like if Alex will go to try to pick him up, he'll like run a little bit. Like he just wants to walk and pace. He doesn't want to be picked up or anything like that. So anyway, so last night, he's not really using the bed down here. Well, when I first got the bed open and I put it on the bed, he like slept on it that day, like all day, the new bed. So last night, it was so cute, you guys. So last night, I put both beds, I put it up on my Instagram. I put both beds, and I put them like right in front of each other, and I said ridiculous amount. I said something like ridiculous amount of or beds for such a little dog. So many people messaged me, and they're like, no, Boo Radley needs a bed in every room. I totally agree. But anyway, so when I was taking a nap, you know, like I'll like turn and turn. It's like it takes me just as long to fall asleep usually to taking a nap. Maybe not as long to take a nap, and I don't nap, you know. I set my alarm usually between like an hour and a half and 2 hours, but like it takes me like a half an hour, 40 minutes to fall asleep. Then I usually get up and go to the bathroom halfway through, and then I wake up before my alarm goes off typically. So But every time I got up, he was in a different bed. It was so cute, you guys. Like, I would get up, and he'd be in, like, the bed that I got him is not as deep as the purple bed. It's more kind of, like, it's flatter. I don't know how to explain it. But he'd be on that bed, and then, like, I would turn, and, like, I would wake up, and I would look and be like, where's he at? And he'd be like, and then, he, like, I wouldn't even have felt or heard him move, and he'd be, like, in the purple bed with his, like, head hanging over the side of it looking at me. And I'd be like, oh, you're in your purple bed now. And then when I get up, he'd be in the other bed. He's so hilarious. He's got such a little specific personality. It's so cute. All these people that are walking just look like so worn out, like it's so hot. I'm like, I want to walk, but I'm not excited about all that. So then when I got up last night, like, what did I do? Oh, there's the mail. It's a different mail person today. He's a mail van now. This guy's got just a mail truck, car, like a regular mail. What's the word I'm looking for? He's scanning something. Is he putting it? Oh, is he putting? Hey, how are you? He just put a package in my mailbox. I wonder if that's the package. That's USPS. Well, I'll go look after I'm done vlogging, but I'm like, is that the package that I've been waiting for all day long that's now with the mail? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm confused. I thought it was UPS. It doesn't matter. Anyway. It looks like t-shirts, which is, that would be right. So, because he like folded it when he put it in the mailbox. Anyway, so I got up last night. Did I talk to people on the phone? I don't remember if I talked to anybody on the phone or not. I don't remember what I did at first. I was like messing around. Oh, I got up and I put my vlog up. So, now I stopped it. So is he getting out to like deliver a package? Maybe this is my package. Maybe not. No, here's the UPS package right here. Let me stop this because the UPS package just pulled in behind the mailman. So let me go get this package. If it's for me, I mean, he's parked right in front of me. It's got to be for me. So, yeah, it's for me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I thought I pushed the button already and started it, but I hadn't. Well, it's not what I thought it was. But I got two packages. The mailman came over there, and then I had to sign for this one. I don't even know why I had to sign for this. It's a book. And then the clothing is Alex's. This is what Alex got this package of. I thought it was t-shirts, but it feels like pants. And then my neighbor was out there, and he's like, I'm watching Dragons. And I was like, I don't watch Game of Thrones. He was like, oh, I thought you watched Game of Thrones. He was like, oh, I was talking to Alex. I was like, Alex is watching House of Dragons, not me. He's like, I was talking to Alex about that. So this is, I don't know what this is that Alex got, but I got this book that I ordered. I saw online. It's supposed to be like a composition book. This is the one that I think it is. We'll see. I don't know anything about this book, but I saw somebody reviewing it. I was like, it's like a composition book. Why did I have to sign from this? But it's all typed out. I thought it'd be like written in, but it's not. It's called Suburban Legend, a Memoir by Diana Lee. Oh, I don't have my reading glasses on. It's so small print. You ever hear the one about a girlhood stolen then reclaimed? Darkly humorous and casually devastating, this autobiographical collage reads like a locked Y2K diary full of suburban darkness, chronicling Diana's MySpace era coming of age as she makes the transition from numbed out teen to young adult. She finds herself unable to move forward in her own tale of romantic love. To find her future, she has to come to terms with and take back a childhood ripped, oh my, of abuse. Each essay puts dark memories in new outfits. Late night confessions, every romantic first, better or for worse, police reports, found poems from therapy, and conversations of a Vietnamese family marked by cycles of violence. It's supposed to be so good. I saw this whole thing about it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited about it though. But I ordered it from the company, which is called Girl Noise Press. I don't know if that's why I had to sign for it, but I think it's so weird that I had to sign for that. I was like, why did I have to sign for t-shirts? But my t-shirts didn't come. So it was $9.99, and the shipping was $4.49. That's expensive, but the shipping was half the price of that. Why does it say different press on here? Anyway, so we both got packages, and then he was trying to put a package in her mailbox, but her mailbox is down on the ground, and I was like, he was like, no. I was like, I can hold it for her, and he was like, no, we have to give it. It has to be in her mailbox. I go, well, her mailbox is down on the ground. He was like, yeah, we can't put it in the mailbox on the ground. I go, okay. So, I don't know. I guess she doesn't get her mail. She texted me earlier. That's when she was texting me about the weather, and she was telling me about the mailbox, and she said, I called, and they said somebody had already reported it yesterday. I think it's interesting that somebody reported it yesterday. It's at the end of the day today, and nobody from maintenance has come out to get my hairdo. Hairdo's for you. Nobody's come out there and fixed the mailbox in 2 days. But they sure are on those pickleball courts, you know what I mean? But a mailbox is down, and she didn't fix it. Apparently they can't deliver mail if the mailbox is down. I didn't know that, but anyway. It was a different mailman. We all know the mailman that comes around our neighborhood. If it was him, he probably would have taken it up to our door. Because he always is so nice about bringing packages up to our door and stuff like that. My neighbor's out there doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Something with the driveway. I can see him out there in the window. So yeah, so last night I watched... Oh, I know what I watched. I was like, why did I get started on Dark so late? I watched Quick Change last night. And I usually watch the movies sitting out here, but I didn't last night. Last night, I sat inside, because it was, like, really hot and humid outside last night. I mean, it wasn't hot. It was, like, 80, but it was, like, humid. And I was like, I cannot be sitting outside to watch this movie tonight, which is so weird, because last summer I loved sitting out here, but I just, like sitting inside now. And I lit my candles, and I watched Quick Change. I loved it. I did my whole, like, reaction to it today on my Peter Desta channel. It was interesting, like, how much I remembered of it. I kept on thinking, like, because I always ask myself when I watch movies, like, is this a movie that I would watch again, like, down the road? And I would. I definitely would. I wouldn't watch it as, like, intent. Like, I sat there and watched it last night. It felt kind of slow to me in a way that I didn't remember it being. Like, the beginning and the end is kind of fast, but the middle of it is real slow. But it was funny how many specific parts I remembered about it. Like, specific lines I remember the movie. But I think it's one of those movies. It's like one of those romantic adventure comedies from, like, the 80s and the 90s. I used to love those movies. And so... like Romancing the Stone and stuff like that. And so those are the kind of movies that I would have on in the background while I was doing stuff like cleaning or ironing, you know, and stuff like that back in the day. I love those movies. They kind of helped me escape out of my mind and whatever was going on. I don't know, I love those kind of movies. So it was fun watching that. So then when I got done with that, I was going to start watching Dark, and I was going to say Big Brother to watch with Alex tonight, but I was like, I know as soon as I get online, I'm going to start seeing who, like, is head of household, who got kicked out. So... I was like, I'm just going to watch Big Brother now. He's not, I mean, he likes it, but he's not that invested in it. So I watched Big Brother last night. It was a good episode last night. I was surprised. But I already, like, as soon as it got over, I looked online to see who the head of household was, because they didn't even start the head of household competition last night. This is actually, it's interesting. Somebody said, I was talking about it, maybe it was on here. I was on here, I got the comment, and somebody said they always pick the cast from casting agents. It's interesting that somebody said that. I don't know how you know that, if there's articles written about it, but, like, I know people that applied to be on the show and almost made it to the final round, and were never part of a casting agent whatsoever. One of our very, very good friends, because they said that about American Idol for years, one of our very dear friends, it's actually the couple that we just went to dinner with not too long ago, he made it to, like, the final round before you go and audition in front of everybody to go to Hollywood on American Idol. And I can remember talking to him, this was years and years ago. Oh, God, how long have we known them? I mean, I've known them, they were dating before Alex and I were, so 16 years. So this would have been, like, 14 years ago, and I can remember asking him, like, is it all contrived and whatever? He's like, no, not at all. He was like, you make it down to, like, you go through rounds of auditions before you get to that final mark. He's like, it's not it's not like how it shows on the show. Like, you don't all just, like, get a number and then you show up that day. He's like, you have to do, like, a pre-audition before that. He's like, and then the people that are, like, chosen to be on the show. So, like, they pick the worst singers. Like, you know when they do, like, the worst singer, like, that's all picked before that part is contrived. But he was like, no, it's like they pick singers from, like, the best singers that they've seen leading up to it to that day, and then you get to go there. So he made it to that final round before there. He is such a great singer. I was like, I don't know why you didn't get picked. And he goes, I think it was, like, he talked to somebody, and what they said was that they had a lot of singers that were very similar to him that day. And so they just picked, like, the two that they thought had, like, the most interesting stories or whatever, unlike, you know, like, that were, like, of like, because he's, like, very, like, Frank Sinatra crooner type. And so they, like, picked the two that were kind of, like, similar to that day. But he auditioned, I think he auditioned more than once and made it to, like, the very end. I mean, I've always known, like, on Big Brother that they probably do, like, I don't know where the casting agency thing comes from, but it's like, when you watch last season, if there's truth to that, like, I don't know, email me the articles or whatever, I'd be interested in reading it. I mean, I can Google search it myself, but, like, I was watching, because, like, they had Jag, the winner from last season, on Tuesday night's episode, and so I was thinking about, like, him and Matt and things like that. I think they very specifically pick people for storylines. Like, I loved Matt. I think his story, it wasn't like they just randomly picked him. I mean, no TV show is going to do that. Even Survivor doesn't do that and stuff like that. I mean, they pick people for specific reasons, right? But last season when you watch it, like, I can remember the scenes of, and I'm not going to say anything about who won last night or who got evicted or the HOA. I won't say that. But anyway, when you watch last season, like, I love the scenes with, like, Jag and Matt in the yard when they're acting like they're talking on their cell phones and planning a date. Like, I loved those scenes, right? And I don't watch the live streams, so maybe it's on the live streams, but they're not showing a lot of that on the show this year. It's all, like, game talk when they show the shows. And so the closest that they've shown on that on the show was Leah and Joseph were sitting in the yard when everybody was running, and Leah said, she was like, I have more of a Miami attitude about it. And she was like, go team. It was funny. That's the stuff that I loved about Big Brother. Or maybe I do need to watch the live streams. But Nikki said that they're constantly cutting off the live streams because people are saying stuff. So, I don't know. You know, it's interesting. I mean, if they are all picked by casting agencies in a casting pool, it wouldn't really surprise me. Except for this. This is the first season that they've really... Rachel Riley actually came out and talked about that. She said it wasn't scripted and all this kind of stuff. So, they must have started it a couple years ago if they do that. I don't know. It's interesting to me. But... I also thought it was interesting. I'm just sharing my complete thoughts about this, okay? It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago during an elimination, and Brooklyn, I think it was Brooklyn, said to Julie, I always say her name wrong, and people think it's so funny. So last night I was like, it's Moonves, right? Julie Chen Moonves. And so anyway, now, you know that she's had, like, she, like, wrote this book about finding God and finding Christ and all this kind of stuff. But it's interesting to me that on a show like Big Brother, that they didn't edit this part out. If you watch it, it's interchangeable. You like when they come into the room, like they come into the diary room to vote. I mean, I wasn't, this is not something that, like, I'm turned off by or anything like that. I just thought it was interesting on this show. Because, like, on Survivor, I mean, you hear people all the time being like, God this and God that, and, you know, their religious beliefs and all this kind of stuff. But it was interesting to me that the host said it. And that they included it. I mean, it was a live show, so maybe that's why they didn't edit it out. But Brooklyn said something to Julie. Julie said, how are you doing, Brooklyn? And she said something like, God is good. And Julie responded to her and said, and good is God, and God is good is good. Or something like that. That saying that, you know, that people say back and forth to each other. It was such this moment, like this Christian interaction, which, fine, whatever, right? But, like, it was interesting to me because I've never seen it. I mean, I know, I've seen Julie Chen, I've seen the show she's been interviewed on, I've heard her talk about her book, you know, she's gone through hell and back, and, hey, more power to her for that, right? I just was surprised that they included that on Big Brother. It kind of surprised me. I've never, like, in watching reality shows, noticed where, like, the host interacts with the people like that. That was surprising to me. I have to be honest with you, Brooklyn is somebody that typically, and maybe if it was a different season, I would feel differently. Did I say Brooke? Brooklyn is typically somebody that I would be a fan of. I'm not a fan of her on this show. I don't know what it is about Brooklyn. She seems very nice to me. I'm just not a fan of her on the show at whatever. I think it's partly because if you're gonna come out and play a dirty game, like, just come out and play a dirty game. Like, don't hide behind this guise of, like, I'm such a nice person and this isn't who I am, but I have, you know what you're signing up for, and you're signing up for Big Brother. And I feel like she kind of does that a little bit. I mean, there's a couple people that, like, well, first of all, Cam never gets any airtime. So I'm not super interested in Cam. Joseph doesn't really get a lot of airtime either. This week, T-Core and Chemo got a lot of airtime. I really liked T-Core and Chemo, and they were like, I liked T-Core coming in. Chemo wasn't anybody that I was really that interested in. I think they really showed, like, what good game players they are this week. Anyway, I watched that last night. I watched Quick Change, and then I watched Big Brother, and then it was late. What did I do after that? Maybe I did talk to somebody on the phone. And then I watched Dark, and I hadn't finished episode 4, so I watched I had half the episode of episode 4, season 3, and then I watched episode 5. I'll be honest with you where I'm at with it on Dark, because a lot of people are watching it with me right now, which I'm kind of surprised about. I have like 3 or 4 people that DM me every day about watching Dark, and they're like where I'm at, or like an episode or 2 ahead of me. I'll tell you where I'm at with it. It's so confusing because it's not just about time travel now, it's about world travel. And the way the show is done, it's done beautifully. It's done very, very well. The casting, the dialogue is so interesting. You're constantly speculating about what's going on, but they present the show, this is what's interesting about it, right? Like, they present the show as if the person watching it understands completely what they're talking about, and that's just not the case. And so it's very confusing, and I know that that's like part of what the show's supposed to be about. You were right on that mail coming out. Oh my God, you were out your door? You must be waiting for something.
I was already in the garage.
Is your gardening magazine coming today?
No, I was already out here.
What are you doing?
I'm folding laundry.
Folding laundry? What are you going to plant? Huh? I can't hear you because of the wind. Oh. It's windy all of a sudden, isn't it? Okay, so that's how, like, Dark is, like, if you've watched it or you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they just kind of assume that the person watching it has complete understanding of what's going on, which is interesting because people have sent me the links to, like, where they chart everybody. To be honest with you, I even looked at those charts. They're too confusing to me. Like, where this person's related to this person in this life, and it's like, it's about time travel. So, like, somebody's, like, aunt is also their love interest, but they don't know that because of time. It's so bizarre, you guys, but it's so good at the same time. I can't stop watching it. But I'll be honest with you, now that I'm halfway through season 3, I just kind of want to find out what happened. It's getting a little bit repetitive. At the end of season 2 and going into season 3, the whole story changes, kind of, like, from time to worlds, and that's all I'll say. But anyway, at this point, I'm just kind of like, each episode gets more and more confusing, that I'm just kind of like, and so many people have messaged me and been like, it's a beautiful ending, and I'm ready for the beautiful ending. I'm ready to finish the show. I'm ready to start getting back into Sister Wives, because I'm trying to finish this so that I can go on to watch Ozark or something else, and some true crime, and also watch Sister Wives, and keep up with my weekly shows, so I don't have, like, until I get done with this show, like, I'm not going to start, because so many people are like, because Alex last night was like, you should watch Love Island, you could watch the whole thing this weekend. I was like, I'm going to watch 40 episodes in a weekend. I go, we don't even have the time for that this weekend. I said, not to mention, I said, I'm not going to start something that I can't get done by I can watch it anytime, because it'll always be up there. And he's like, well, yeah, that's true. And I said, and I've got 10 seasons of Sister Wives, I'm in the middle of that, and it's Dark, and I want to finish Dark before I start something else, you know? I can, like, watch Sister Wives, and I just looked down there, I was like, what's that composition doing down there? It's my new book. I mean, I can watch Sister Wives, and I can watch, what do you call it? I can watch Sister Wives, and I can watch, like, a thriller at the same time, and that's not hard. But I gotta just get done with this. I'm ready for it to be over. So I watched that last night, got through the 5th episode, so I have 6, 7, and 8. Or did I only watch half of episode 5 last night? Maybe I have 6, 7, 8, and maybe part of 5. Or did I finish 5 last night? I don't remember. The characters are even confused in the show. Like, they're so confused. So you're confused watching people that are confused. And then there's like two characters that act like they understand everything that's going on. But they don't. They're just like, what you will find is... And I'm like, okay, can you just explain? Because now it's just getting repetitive a little bit. But it is a dark show. It really is. It's good. It's good, though. So then I went to bed. And I went to bed... I went to bed late, but I was like, I knew I could sleep in, so I took my medicine last night. I was like, let's try it again. Just to be honest with you, like, the reason for me taking the medicine, this is what I'm going to talk to my doctor about, is so that I can fall asleep quicker. And it doesn't really affect that at all. And whether I take it or whether I don't, I'm sleeping pretty deep now. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll just stop taking the medicine. But then when I know I can get a lot of sleep, I'm like, well, I'm going to take it tonight and see. Constantly, like, testing, taking it, not taking it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I got to pull these weeds over here. There's like 4 weeds right over here, and that's it. The rest of it. You know what I was noticing, though? When I went to the nursery to get this mulch, I said I wanted the darkest mulch possible. I think they were sold out of it, because the guy was like, oh, no, this is the darkest. It'll show up. Like, it will be dark gray, but when it rains, it'll be black. It looks like regular cheap-ass mulch is what it looks like. Our neighbors next door, I was like standing there talking to her the other day when she was asking about the mildew and stuff like that on her zinnias. Exciting conversations in the neighborhood, isn't it? It was a fun conversation, though. But anyway, when I was talking to her about that, I was looking at her mulch. Her mulch is black. It's what I wanted. I wanted black mulch. And I said, this is what I wanted. I said, I wanted this black mulch. And she goes, why didn't you just get that? She got it the same place I did. I said, I told them I wanted the darkest mulch possible. And this is, look at mine compared to yours. She's like, yours is not black mulch. And I go, yeah, I know that. I mean, it literally looks like pine chippings is what it looks like. I don't hate it, but I wanted it to look like green and then black. And I'm not going to buy a bunch of mulch to lay it on top of this now. I mean, maybe next summer I will. But I'm not going to do it now. But that pisses me off because I wanted like really dark mulch. Oh well, mulch is mulch, right? So this is going to be a fun weekend. So tonight we're just going to relax and I'll take my walk and she and I might go for a swim. And then doing family stuff this weekend, film a couple videos, watch some shows. Alex has an early day on Monday, so we're doing that dinner on Sunday night, but I don't think that we'll stay there that late. I don't think that'll be like a 2 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. So, yeah. I'm excited about it. And then next Sunday is our anniversary. I can't believe it, that we've been together. It's crazy, 16 years next Sunday. I think our first date was on... Was it on a Wednesday? Was it on a Monday or a Wednesday? I think it was on a Wednesday. I don't really remember. I remember picking him up because his friend, she doesn't even live here anymore, she lives in Florida now. I picked him up at his friend's house downtown. And, oh my God, you talk about crazy stories. Anyway, this friend of Alex's that he went to high school with, she's from Columbia, and she looks like, I mean, she's a dead ringer for Penelope Cruz. She's like one of our really dear friends. Anyway, I picked him up at her apartment downtown. Her apartment, which was literally like a 6,000 square foot apartment downtown. I didn't go there in that day, but later we went there. Not that day, but like when we started dating. And I remember going to this, like the elevator like opened into like, it was 3 stories, this building, and she had the 3rd floor. And when you opened the elevator, it was like, she had the whole floor. It was like amazing. But I remember when he picked me up, and for those of you that don't know this story, I had asked Alex out like via MySpace. Funny that book mentioned MySpace era. Via MySpace, because I'd seen him out at a bar. And so I was like on MySpace, and I saw his picture pop up, like he was friends with somebody else, so I sent him this message. And I said, anyway, basically ask him out. He said he was still interested in his ex. That was before my mom passed away. Then my mom passed away, and I went to Pride that summer in Denver, And then I was going out to Denver like every 2 to 3 weeks. I went out to Denver like 4 or 5 times that summer. And I was going to move to Denver. That was my plan. I had it all picked out. I had an apartment. I liked this building in Lodo. And I knew exactly where I was going to move. I loved Denver. Susie lived out there. I was like, this will be perfect, you know? And so, because I knew I'd have like a family connection. Plus one of my dearest friends lived in, he lives in Cherry Creek. He and his husband live in Cherry Creek. And that's who I would stay with. And so I was like, okay, like I'm going to move. Like I'm moving to Denver. And I didn't hear from it. Like, I would see, if I was in town and I went out, I would see Alex, like, every once in a while and be like, hey, how are you, or whatever, you know? I mean, he was really, like, nice, and but I would see him and he'd say hi to me and stuff like that, but it was nothing, you know, like that, and whatever. I think I said in the original message back to him when he told me he was still interested in his ex, I was, like, kind of snarky, and I was like, well, give me a call when you're not interested in your ex, or something like that. So all these months go by, right? And it was, like, the first week of August or something, and he messaged me and he was like, hey, when are you going to take me on this date? And I said, oh, you must be over your ex. Are you over your ex or something? He just was like, LOL, yeah, or whatever. What I didn't know at the time was that Alex was dating, like, he was going on dates all the time. I mean, he'll sit there and tell you. He was like, I was going on dates for dinner, for free dinners. That's what he was doing, right? So, we had 2 dates scheduled. I think it was 2 dates, like, over the next 2, like, I canceled the first one. I just wasn't interested. I just was like, you're moving, probably. Like, I was kind of in my head, like, pretty sure about it. I was like, you're moving anyway. Why are you going to get involved in something? You don't want to be in another relationship. You want to be single right now. And so I canceled the first one. And he was like, well, if you want to reschedule, let me know. And then he like, asked me something again. I was like, okay, fine. So I scheduled the second date. And I ended up canceling the second date, I think because I ended up going to Denver. When I came back from the date, or when I came back from going to Denver, I was, like, positive I was moving. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to sell my mom's condo. And I was still living in my apartment at that time and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm just going to move, right? And so he messaged me again, like, after that. And said something like, I can't remember how he said it, like, this is the last time, or something like that. So I'm going to ask if you're interested. And I was kind of like, I really didn't have a lot going on, if you wanted the truth, in my life at that time. And, you know, I got out of the relationship the year before. My mom had passed away. I had left my working in treatment. And so I just didn't really have a lot going on. And so I was like, okay, he's going to fix this flag over here. He just came out, my neighbor in the corner just came out here to fix his flag. He's, like, wrapping it, it's all, like, blown up in the wind because it's so windy. I know he's coming to get he's getting his mail. He's so funny. So Alex was like, okay, I'm going to ask you, like, one last time. And so I was like, okay, so we scheduled this day. I think we scheduled the day actually before I went to Denver. And then when I went to Denver, he's, like, looking up and down the street, holding onto the mailbox. Did you get anything good?
Nope. I like your mailbox.
It's not my mailbox. That's her mailbox. She said that somebody reported it yesterday. They're on that pickleball court, but they won't fix a mailbox to save their life around here. So, I think we planned the day before. I don't remember. It's been 16 years, you know? It's kind of crazy when I think about, like I talk about, like, bullying and stuff like that, and, like, growing up and all this kind of stuff. And, like, I was in, first grade to senior year in high school. That was 12 years, you know? Plus college was, well, for me it was, like, 5 years, but like 4, you know? And then I've been with Alex, like, longer almost than all of that. And that had such an impact in my life. And when Alex and I got together, neither one of us thought that it was going to last, that we were going to end up, neither one of us wanted to be in a relationship. I mean, he was just going on dates for dinners, you know? And so, I can remember I got back, I think he sent me, like, a message about reminding me about the date, and I was like, I don't want to go on this date. And I called my friend in Denver, and I was like, what's the point? You know, like, I'm moving out there anyway. Like, I had pretty much decided, we had gone, like, I had figured out where I wanted to be, the apartment building, and all this kind of stuff. They had, like, these loft apartments that looked like New York City that were basically just, like, concrete floors and big high ceilings and big windows and stuff, and I loved them. And so, like Lodo area at that time. I don't know what it looks like now, but it looked very, like our friends Demi and Frankie live in Denver, and I said something about Lodo, and they're like, oh, we love that area. And I said, is it still real artsy? And they're like, oh yeah, it's like more professional now than it was then, but like it was very artsy and stuff like that. And so I came back, I remember calling him on the phone, and I was like, I'm supposed to go on this date, and I don't really want to go on this date. And he's like, just go. And I was like, well, I don't want to cancel on him, and I feel bad. And he was like, just go. He was like, you know, worst case scenario, you make a best friend. Best case scenario, you have a great day, you know? And I was like, okay, well, that's a good attitude about it. So I went on the date. I had absolutely no desire. I went in with no expectations. I really think that has a lot to do with it. Like, I'll never forget, like, afterwards, like, months afterwards, Alex was like, that first date was, like, the best date I'd ever gone on. And I felt very similar to that. He didn't want to be in a relationship. I didn't want to be in a relationship. We didn't, like, neither one of, I mean, he was there for a free dinner. And I was there just because I felt like I didn't want to cancel on him one more time, you know? And I remember, like, we didn't even, like Alex used to say, we didn't even finish our dinner because we were talking so much. I mean, we had a fantastic conversation. And I think it was because we didn't, like, have any expectations going into it. And I remember afterwards, he said, I don't remember getting coffee, but he said we got coffee and drove around and then, like, came back here in my apartment, I don't remember. Like, made out and stuff like that. We have different ideas of what happened on that date. He says a lot more happened than I remember happening. But anyway, and then that next day, we had such a good date. Like, I think I either took him home late that night. I think I took him home late that night. Like, real late. And I asked him, I said, do you want to go on a date tomorrow night? Because we had such a good time. And he was real honest. He was like, I have a date tomorrow night already planned with somebody else. He's like, let me see if I can cancel it, and I'll let you know. And it's like, okay. So we canceled the date. He had like 2 or 3 other dates set up for like the next, and he canceled them all and kept on going with me. I can remember at the time being like, I can't believe he has all these dates set up. But he kept on canceling them for me, and we kept on hanging out together. And I'll say like that first year, I mean, we spent every day together the first year. And then he started staying over a lot, and then around October was when I moved in here. And then he started staying over a lot when I moved in here. And that was just kind of how it was. But it's so crazy to think, like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, as you get older, like, you know, when people are like, oh, it seems like it was just yesterday. I may have even said that in the video. I mean, moments of it seem like yesterday, but like, that first date seems like a really long time ago. I mean, we've been through a lot. We've been through good times. Take the good, you take the bad, take it all, and then you have the facts of life. I mean, we've been through a lot. It seems like a really long time ago. It doesn't seem like it was just yesterday, you know? Our wedding doesn't even seem like it was just yesterday. I remember the night after our... So our friend that married us, she doesn't live in Vegas anymore, but she lived in Vegas at the time. And then a really good family friend of ours, the one that, like, went to high school with Caroline and stuff like that, she was... The camera stopped. I didn't even realize that's almost near 30 minutes. But anyway, so our friend that lived in... We had 2 friends that lived in Vegas at the time. Actually, this is kind of a funny story. Our first, like, the one friend that lived out there, not the one that married us, another friend, she picked us up from the airport. And she... I don't know why, like, I'm embarrassed about this. I mean, how we've been together for 16 years, married for 13, I'm 52 years old. Anyway, she's very wealthy girl, and just has kind of a very extravagant life. So she picked us up in this, like, stretch SUV thing, and she was like, okay, we're gonna go to brunch, I'm taking you to brunch, this is our first day there. We were in Vegas for 11 days. And she was like, but before we do, I'm taking you to the world's largest porn store, and you guys can get anything that you want, any toys you want to get, and then it's all on me. And so I'll never forget, we went to this, like, it was out in the middle of nowhere, and it was like the world's biggest porn store or something like that. She was buying, like, t-shirts and clothes and stuff and hats that said stuff on it. I remember I, like, bought a trucker hat that said something on it. I actually, for years, people asked me, like, I had this Jenna Jameson t-shirt, and it said something like, I can't remember what it said. It was really funny, but I think I got it at that store or something like that. Anyway, so then after that, she took us to the brunch at the Four Seasons, which is beautiful. If you've never been to the Four Seasons in Vegas, it's gorgeous. And it was like us and like 2 other tables of people out there. And we kept on looking at this one table. We're like, this woman looks so familiar to us. I'll never forget this. And so when we were done, we were walking in, and like probably 20 feet in front of us was this woman. And I was like, the woman looks so familiar to me. And she was with like these two guys. And she kept on turning around. And finally she turned around and she snapped her finger and like pointed to Alex. And she's like, he's hot. And she looked right at Alex and said that. And I said something like, we figured it out. My friend like knew who she was, and which is so funny because I've loved her for years and years and years. Like when I was like in college, like I bought my girlfriends these like her dresses and stuff. We would go to her store in Chicago. It was Betsy Johnson. And I mean, she looked right at Alex and she's like, he's hot. Like that to Alex. We figured it out, like who it was or something. We asked somebody there, we were like, is that Betsy? They were like, yeah, that's Betsy Johnson or something like that. So anyway, I can't remember how that all went down, but that was fun. And then we stayed then they have this hotel called the Hotel at Mandalay Bay. It doesn't exist anymore. I think it's the Delano now. And we stayed there for like a couple days, and then we went over to the Cosmopolitan, and then we were there for like 2 days before everybody else flew in, and then we stayed there like 2 days after everybody flew in. It was so much fun. But I remember that, so our friend that married us, Brittany, she lived in Vegas at that time too. And then so we were like doing stuff with her, like going out to dinner, like when nobody else, like Alex has another really good friend from college. He actually works for a university in Nevada. And so he lives like right outside of Las Vegas. And so I'll never forget, like after we got married, he took us to this restaurant called Dragonfly. It was like all tapas. And he knew everything to do like off the main strip. And so he took us to all these like fun little bars and stuff like that. It's like when we see Maya, like she does the same thing, you know? That was really fun seeing him. He was in our wedding too. It was like Alex is one of his best friends from college. And then, but there was this one night, I think it was the night before our rehearsal dinner when everybody came. And it was, because our one friend, the one that knew Caroline from high school, she flew out there like 2 days before. And so it was her and then our friend that married us and Alex and I can't remember where we had gone to dinner, but it was somewhere near the Venetian because our rehearsal dinner was at this restaurant. I love this restaurant. It's called like the Cafe. It's like cheesecake. It's owned by the people that own Cheesecake Factory, but it's called Cafe something. And it's open 24 hours. They have fantastic food. When I ate chicken fingers, they had like the best chicken fingers in the entire world. But it's between the Venetian and the Palazzo. And I remember we had to go there to check about our private room that we had for a rehearsal dinner. And so we all went there. But then the four of us ate dinner somewhere else. But what's so funny about it is our friend Brittany had been a model. You know, she was a model and stuff like that. I think she's still modeling. But anyway, I think Brittany's like 5'11", and our other friend is like 5 foot. And so she was like, my Caroline's friend that knows Carolina, she was like, take a picture of me and Brittany together. And so we have this picture of them like holding hands, and it's like you can see it's like the huge, you know, inside of the Venetian because it's like all these columns and stuff. They're like walking down holding hands, and it's like the height difference is hilarious. It was so funny. And I remember because was that maybe no, that wasn't our rehearsal dinner night because after that was when we like did separate things with our separate people. We're supposedly, Caroline ended up telling me, she was like, I'm so tired. I know that you want to stay up and do like bachelor stuff. We'd already had a joint bachelor party, so we weren't doing that. But anyway, it was the night before that because somebody had, none of us had brought it, but somebody knew that we were like getting married at a restaurant and they had like in the back room. That was what it was. Where did we go to dinner that night? Somewhere in the Venetian. We went to dinner somewhere, and like the server was like, oh, we have something for you in the back room that like somebody had left behind, and they brought out this like headband that had like a penis on it for like a bachelorette party. And our friend, like she and Brittany like kept on putting it back and forth the whole night. That was so funny. I don't know how I remember that. I still have those pictures to this day. I should show you guys those pictures. Oh my god, my phone. She's finally sent me the videos. The videos are perfection of us doing the rope routine for the Olympics and the community pool. I mean, they are perfection. You should see it. I can't wait. Well, I'll show them to you guys tomorrow or the next night or whenever I have my phone out here. But it was fun. That was a fun. I mean, we were out there for 11 days. I could have stayed out there for 30 days in Vegas. I loved it. Didn't do anything but hang out to each other. It was so funny because I can remember the day after we got married. So all of our friends went to one pool. There's like 2 pools at the Cosmopolitan. Well, there's a Marquee Day Club, and then there's, I can't remember there's the Boulevard pool, and then there's another pool. And they had all got us like a cabana, so we could just be Alex and I together the day after we got married. And so we were all just there by ourselves, or Alex and I were just there by ourselves. And I can remember, you know, this is before marriage equality had passed and things like that. And I can remember Alex saying to me, does it feel different to you that we're married? And I remember thinking about it. And I was like, it does feel different. Like, it's weird, right? Like, but it does. Like, nothing really should be different from yesterday to today. But like saying it and doing it in front of all of our friends and family, not doing it, but, you know, getting married in front of all of our friends and family, like, it changes, like, it really changes something, you know? And I don't know, it just felt like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, the wedding really did, like, change something for us. I don't know. I loved it. I loved our wedding. I loved spending time with him out there and stuff like that. It was really fun. It's crazy to think that we're going to be together. It's crazy to think that that was 13 years ago. I have pictures of myself, no beard, because I started growing my beard out then. So this next week, I will have had my beard for 13 years. I didn't have a beard before then. And so I have these pictures. I used to always wear this John Deere trucker hat. I mean, I had it for years and years and years. I lost it at Pride Day one year at this place that we were at. Somebody found it and gave it back to me and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, I used to wear this John Deere trucker hat, and like I would always wear these Western shirts that buttoned up with pearl buttons and stuff like that. And I have all these pictures of me and like us being with this friend that lives out there that he went to college with, and these girls and stuff. I look completely different. Like my hair was, well, first of all, I was probably, yeah, I was like 20, 25 pounds thinner than I am now. And then my hair was brown, and I didn't have a beard. And I was 13 years younger. It's crazy because I said to Alex, it was like a week ago or something, I said, do you love me more than you did then? And he goes, do I love you more than I did when I first met you and when I married you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, it's always, Alex's perspective is always interesting on stuff. Because I don't know that I love you more. He goes, I love you differently than I loved then. Or than I did then. Because we've been through so much. And he was like, it's changed the dynamics of our relationship. He goes, our relationship is deeper now than it was 13 years ago. And it's 100% the case, right? Like our marriage is like so much deeper now than it was 13 years ago. So, or even 16 years ago. I mean, neither one of us ever thought. It's so crazy when I look at like all the couples that we've known through the years that have like, some of them have gotten married and divorced and gotten remarried to themselves, and other people have gotten married and divorced 4 times to other people and have 3 and 4 kids with different people, and some of them have stayed single all these years, some of them have moved far away and moved back again. And you know, it's crazy, like all the things that's happened in 16 years of us being together, and to think that like we were not the couple that was supposed to be together. I mean, we did not go into it like we want to be a couple that lasts. That was never on one of our our bingo cards that we were going to be the couple that was going to be together even a year from now. And we were just having fun. That was all it was. It was just having fun. It's crazy to look back on that and think that all these years later, you know, we're still together. I'm proud of us. I'm really proud of us. I think I was rather naive in those early years too, you know, like with a relationship. You know, with my ex, I could kind of like pinpoint where it went wrong. And so I could look back on it and be like, well, this is what happened, or this is where we started like drifting apart or whatever. With my first ex, I could definitely like track it to like, we wanted different things. Like he wanted to go out and like party and go to circuit parties and do all this kind of stuff. I wanted to stay at home and watch TV. I mean, we both knew that about each other. And he changed over time. So I could very much relate it to that and be like, well, he changed. Like he wanted to go out and do all this stuff. I didn't want to. That's what happened with us. So with both situations, I could look at it and be like, okay, well, if this hadn't happened, if he hadn't changed, we'd still be together. Or if we hadn't grown apart because of this or that, like, then we'd still be together. I think in my head, I was naive about that. I don't think that I had any idea that how much work relationships take, and that there will be, I think that's almost kind of sometimes like when things are going really easy and they're calm, I almost get kind of, it's like I grew up in chaos. If anybody else out there relates to that, you know what I'm talking about. Like I grew up living in chaos, and so when you're living in chaos, there's always something to fix, and so it keeps you busy. So like when we're like in very calm, like we've been in a very calm period of time for a very long time, I'm almost kind of like, are we about to have like a major fight? Like whatever, you know, because the longer the periods go, we're not arguing at all, and we're just like so peaceful and laughing together and stuff like that. It's almost kind of like uncomfortable for me. I think that's where people sabotage relationships a lot. But there has to be a point where you just kind of enjoy the work that you've done in a relationship, you know? And so it's interesting because like I don't know, it's just interesting to me, like, when I've had people, again, I compared, like, marriage counseling to a vocal coach in one of my videos recently, and I said, like, Stevie Nicks came out, and she had been using the same vocal coach since 1994, and she, like, talks to him before every concert and whatever, because she wants to be the best singer she can be. Mariah Carey has come out and said that she has vocal coaches, other people, right? And that's how we see marriage counseling. It's like, we want to have the best possible marriage that we can possibly have, right? But, like, I have people in my personal life that will be like, you, like, never, like, why do you keep on going to marriage counseling? Like, you guys don't fight and whatever. And it's like, these couples that I see, like, I don't ever see them kiss. I don't ever see them be affectionate towards each other. They don't laugh together. It's nobody that I've ever talked about on camera. You know, it's like, I mean, I've learned so much from Tanya and Eric's relationship and, you know, other people's relationships in my life of, like, how to keep the love and the passion alive. But I've seen, like, I mean, like, Tanya always, like, I mean, you talk about somebody speaking so highly of their husband. I mean, Tanya is, like, after all these years, like, he still is, like, the man that turns me on the most. And she's like, I would marry that man 100 times over. I mean, she speaks so highly of Eric. I mean, you talk about how you would want to be talked about in a marriage. I have friends of mine that, like, they act like they could be bothered if their husband left tomorrow. And I'm like, but you're wondering why we're still in marriage counseling? Because at some point it's going to get to that. At some point you're just going to be ghosts passing each other in the night, you know? And I don't want that. I don't want that to ever be the case. I want us to have, like, place things in check for us checking in with each other and how are we doing emotionally and what can I do to be more there for you and laugh in bed and, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's all of that important, you know? I want to be married to my husband for 40 years and still want to be intimate with him. You know, I have friends of mine that I've talked to that are like, oh, I could care less if I'm ever intimate with my husband again. I want to be intimate with my husband. You know, and if that's uncomfortable for people to hear, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, don't you want married couples to be intimate? Like, don't you want to be desirable to your partner and find your partner desirable? And I have, like, so many people that are like, oh, I'm good. Like, if we never kiss again, or whatever, then you're basically you're just friends. You have a very good friend that you share a life with, and that's fine if that's what you want it to be. That's completely fine, but that's not what I want. You know, I had that with my ex. If I wanted that, I'd still be with him. And he was a great guy, and, you know, and we were really, really dear friends, but that part of it was gone, and I don't ever want to be in that position again. That's part of why we continue to go to marriage counseling, to have, you know, like, work on the passion and all this kind of stuff. I still want to, like, so when Alex says, like, it's not like I love you more or less, I love you differently, it's interesting, because when our family friend, when I asked her, I said, you guys have been married all these years, like, do you ever get bored? And she's like, no, because we constantly change and we grow, and so we get to learn new things about the person and get to know them all over again. I was like, she's so right about that, you know? Don't ever give up on your relationship. I think that's the other thing. It's like, I think at the point when things got really tough for me, it was almost kind of like my go-to was that it was easier just to, like, say, let's just call it quits than to actually work on it. And the working through the difficult times was what really made our relationship so strong today, you know? Alex, and I probably was the person, because I was so codependent at that time, that would have just stayed in a unhappy relationship just for the safety and the comfort of it. He would not have done that at that time. If we weren't going to work on issues, he was going to leave. And I knew that. I mean, he made that very clear to me. We're either going to get divorced or we're going to go to therapy, but, like, I can't continue to be, like, not get along with you and things like that. What I didn't know going into it was that what came out of it and doing the hard work was what made it really so meaningful. I mean, Alex always loves to use the words like team player, you know, like, we're in this together, we've got this. And I didn't really get that until we were in therapy and working through it. So when he says that today, I love you differently, it's interesting because I don't know that when I first met him, I had this, like, fairy tale kind of love. I don't know that I could have conceptualized us leaning on each other through all the tough times, having difficult conversations with each other, being where we are now, you know, and it's powerful. It's really, really powerful. Don't ever give up on your relationship, you know? Don't ever give up being who you are and being able to maintain your relationship. Whoever you're with, they should respect you changing, you growing, whatever. And that's one of the things I love about my husband today. I think at first I was scared about that, about him changing and growing and whatever. I'm not today. Like, I'm excited about that for him, you know, when he gets excited about a new music or new TV show or whatever. I mean, I make jokes about it, right? But, like, it's fun, you know? It's fun when he, like, gets passionate about something that I haven't seen him get passionate about before. And, you know, it's like, we go out to dinner with people and I'll look across the table and he's just kind of, like, looking at me like, going off about something that I'm real excited about or passionate about, you know, and I think that to keep that other person interested, I think, is really important. I don't want to become ever complacent again in a relationship. That's one of the reasons why we do continue to go to marriage counseling. I don't want to ever become complacent and lazy and take it for granted, you know. I think I did that in 2 relationships, and I even did that at the beginning of this relationship, you know. I think it's interesting that neither one of us wanted to be in a relationship, and we ended up being in one of the longest relationships of anybody that we know. I think it's crazy, you know. I never thought that we would make it a year or 2, or even, I never thought we'd get married, you know, and past that and all this kind of stuff. So it's unbelievable, and I'm very, very proud of us, and I'm happy, you know. And that's why we're not doing the book club that day. Because Alex and I will be doing something that we love on our anniversary. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll be doing something. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go take him his pants or whatever this is and put my book inside. Yeah, so get my other videos up and post them, publish them. And go check on her garden over here. She's planting this echinacea. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. And also, I just want to say thank you so much. I've noticed that, like, there are more people watching my vlogs over here and stuff like that. And I just really, really appreciate it. I don't know why all of a sudden more people are watching my vlogs, but it just means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. And the red light's flashing. Oh my God. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. It means the world to me. And it's real cathartic and fun for me as well to end my day on this. So I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.